Hello and welcome to Spinosaurus News. I'm your host, Jack Spinosaurus, here with another episode. Let's get right into the news. Last week, after months of terrible news stories, including Australia being on literal fire, worries about World War III starting, a literal global pandemic where loads of countries are in lockdown, and murder hornets migrating to the USA and mainland Europe, there is finally some good news. Percy Jackson is getting a live-action TV series. I can honestly say that Percy Jackson is one of my most favourite book series of all time. I adored the books, and when I first sat down to watch the original movie, I was incredibly excited. But unfortunately, the film sucked. Instead of being book accurate, the film strayed very far from the source material, and Rick Riordan, the author of the book, wasn't involved at all, which is an absolute travesty, because Rick is an amazing writer and he's just a really cool guy. Even as a child, I knew that the film wasn't the best, but I still enjoyed it. Then there was the Sea of Monsters. It sucked really bad. It wasn't at all faithful to the books. Instead of the party ponies and a really intense duel between Luke and Percy as the final battle, they have decided to have Percy fight a giant CGI Kronos in abandoned fairgrounds. That was my least favourite part of the film, and it's one of the only parts I remember, because I've only watched this film once and didn't like it, so I just didn't watch it again. Just want to add, this is not me hating on anyone who made the film. I actually quite like a few of the actors in the films. I just don't like the direction the film went, as a huge fan of the books. So because the first two films didn't do so well, 20th Century Fox didn't make a third one. And Rick kept banging out amazing books which helped add to the lore of Percy Jackson. And with the quality content that Rick kept popping out left and right, more fans were clamouring for films. But 20th Century Fox would not budge. It seemed fans would never get the adaptation they deserved, or just really wanted. But finally, prayers were answered when Disney bought Fox, owning the rights for Percy Jackson. Has reinvigorated fans with a new sense of hope, and fans began calling for a faithful Percy Jackson adaptation. Rick constantly kept us updated on whether he had managed to make any progress, the absolute lad he is. Don't know if you can tell, but I have mad respect for Rick Riordan. Then finally, on Thursday the 14th of May 2020, Rick posted a video on Twitter and Instagram confirming that a live-action Percy Jackson TV series was officially in development for Disney+. Each book would get its own singular season, and Rick and his wife Becky would be heavily involved in production. Currently the show is in very early production. I think a script is only just being written by Rick, and all we know about casting is that everyone will be the age appropriate to the books. Rick has also said that when there's new information, he'll tell us, which is another reason why he's really cool, because he's constantly keeping us updated because he knows we're excited. So, that's all we know about the Percy Jackson TV series. Now it's time for my opinion, which nobody asked for, but I'm still giving you anyway. I am personally very excited about this series, but I'm also very wary. I think that they'll do an amazing job because Rick is a mad lad and awesome, as long as they let Rick have a decent amount of input. It should go well. But I'm worried because Rick's books have a lot of LGBT and non-white representation, as well as Rick showing childhood trauma and many other serious issues with a good amount of care and effort. What I'm worried about is that Disney will remove these key aspects in order to make the show more profitable and more marketable worldwide and to children and all that kind of stuff. While this may not be a huge deal to some, I personally believe it to be a big deal because of how integral this representation is to the story, as well as to the characters themselves. Like, a key part of Percy's personality is that he was abused by his stepdad. So was his mum. But the fact that his mum stayed with his stepdad for 12 years to protect him makes everyone like Percy Jackson's mum more. Snyder Jackson, the absolute lad. Don't know if you can tell, but I enjoy calling people a lad. But in conclusion, I'm cautiously optimistic about this TV series. But that's not the only news that's happened this week. This week something else people thought would never happen actually happened. The Snyder Cut exists and is coming to HBO Max in 2021. The release of the Snyder Cut movement started after the release of Justice League in 2017. Many people began to believe that a cut of the movie existed with only scenes directed and written by Zack Snyder, due to the fact that many believed the film that we got was disappointing and not Zack Snyder's true vision. The reason people thought this is because halfway through production, Zack had to leave due to a personal matter, and because of this, Joss Whedon headed the reshoots and finished the film, adding his own flair, whether it was needed. Many people were disappointed by Justice League and felt that the Snyder Cut wouldn't be disappointing and because it was Zack's true vision, would be better, and campaigned for the Snyder Cut to be released. Then, for the past 2 to 3 years, many fans have campaigned heavily for the cut to be released, and during this campaign more evidence was released that the Snyder Cut actually existed. Many people coming out and saying, I've heard of the Snyder Cut actually existed. A few high-level actors coming in and saying release the Snyder Cut, mainly ones who actually worked on Justice League. Then eventually, after years of battling, last week the Snyder Cut was confirmed to exist. It partially exists, but it's still not 100% complete, which is why we have to wait till next year for it to release. This news story is an interesting one because many people, me being one of them, thought the Snyder Cut would never get released. But to be honest, this is a genius move from Warner Brothers. HBO Max is yet another streaming service being released this year, 27th of May to be exact. And they're gonna have to go up against Disney Plus, which have a ton of films people want. All the Star Wars films, all the Marvel films, all the Disney films, like big hitters. And the fact that they've managed to secure something as big and as widely talked about as the Snyder Cut to help headline the release of their streaming service is an amazing business move from Warner Brothers. I gotta give them that. But that was the important news for this week. Well, at least the news I can be bothered to talk about. So, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please smash like. Subscribe for more content. If you do subscribe, be sure to hit the bell icon to be notified whenever there is an upload. I have been Jack Spinosaurus. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.